Here is how you could potentially close 100 sales in 3 hours. We're gonna do this by using this webinar method that I'm gonna explain to you in detail. So the first thing that you have to do is capture your leads. You wanna get as many people as possible to join your webinar. There are two ways to capture leads. The first is that you pitch a free product, or you pitch your email list and get people to join there, sign up in there, and then you want to make it so that they sign up for the webinar. So that's how you collect these signups, using an email list. The other option is pitching your free school community, and once they join and they get warmed up in there, you add the webinar in the calendar so people can join and actually check out what you're talking about. Now remember, the more leads you get, the more sales you're probably going to get. And so let's look at this 4-part structure. The first thing that you have to do is you have to open with value. And this takes about 1 hour. It's very important that you understand the goal of the customer. So what is the goal of your customer? Make sure you know this. Then you have to ask yourself, what does your ideal customer look like? And you also, and this is very important because I see a lot of people don't really know this, but understand your offer. What is it exactly that you're going to get your customer? And then once you know all of these things, you have to ask yourself, how does my offer get my ideal customer to their goal? And then you want to summarize everything you teach inside of your paid offer. So you want to summarize the entire process of getting your customer to their goal. And so let's say that I was selling an info product on how to make money from school. Of course, I'm not doing that. I offer a different service, but let's say that I was. Well, I have a full school course here for free on YouTube, and I could make this a webinar if I wanted to. The duration is about 1 hour, and you can check this out for free, by the way, but that's not the point of this video. The point is that I explain in detail exactly how you can make money from school. So I tell them, okay, these are the steps. You get audience, then you get a product, then you get traffic, then you funnel, you use the right funnel for the type of community that you have, and so on. And that way people know exactly where they're stuck on the process. And that way people can see that you know what you're talking about. Value is key. You want to provide as much value as possible in this 1 hour, because that way people are more likely to trust you when you say that you have a paid product for them. Also, another thing to keep in mind is the presentation. Now, there are two ways to present this, and for a webinar, personally, I recommend a PowerPoint presentation or anything that looks like it. But a Miro board, like I am using right now, is also useful if you know what you're talking about, if you know exactly what you have to say. And so what this does is it warms up the prospect to buying from you, because they see that you can provide value. And that's the second thing. It's proof that you can provide value. It's proof that you can help them reach their goals. Because if they don't know that, if they're not sure that you can actually help them, what makes you think that they're going to buy from you? That's why you have to show them, okay, I can help you reach your goal. I can help you get to where you want to be. And then let's look at part 2. And this is the light pitch. This should take about 10 minutes. And here is exactly what you should pitch. You want to pitch an advanced yearly offer. So try to make it yearly. Don't just make it monthly. Make it so that it's, if they buy the yearly program, if they pay for the subscription, then they get a discount, which is like 20% discount. And they get extra stuff like a free subscription to a program related to what you are selling. So if you're selling a course on how to design, then you can give them something like Adobe Illustrator for free. Another example of this is giving them something like monthly one-on-one calls or 5-on-1 calls, depending on how many people you are able to help with the time that you provide. And so here's how to pitch this offer. And this is the exact script that you can use to pitch this offer. Of course, you're going to have to extend on everything a little bit, but using this blueprint will get you a very good pitch. So you want to mention that there's a Q&A upcoming first, so that way people stick around, because they can have their questions answered, but they first have to listen to what you have to offer them. So then you want to pitch. So you say, I have an exclusive deal that is only valid for the duration of this call. This increases FOMO. If you buy my yearly school subscription, then you get the extra value that was mentioned here. Of course, you can choose which value that is and what fits for your specific community. So then you get that extra value on top of what's already inside of the community. So that's your offer. And then you want to give testimonials. So this helped person who's inside of your community reach the goal which your community is about. This provides proof that you can provide value for them, and it also shows your customers that you can help them get results. And if you have one person or two or three, try and add in a lot of people. Of course, it's better if you have more, but one or two people can also suffice. And then you say, when you buy, we will help you go from the bad situation that you're in right now to the good situation that you want to be in. This, of course, is related to your product. And this could literally be your sales page opening statement. So for those of you who know anything about writing good sales pages on SKOOL, the first thing that you should have on your sales page is a 1 or 2 sentence statement which explains exactly to your potential customers what this product will help them do or which goal it will help them reach. And then you say, if you have not gotten any results towards that goal in the first month, then we will give you a full refund. And this makes it so that there is safety in place, because that way they know that if the product isn't for them, then they can just ask for a refund and they will get it. And this way your customers know that you're not trying to trick them into buying their product, because you are so certain about the value that you're providing that you're certain that they will stay inside of your product because it will help them reach their goal. And then you have your call to action. So if you want all of that, then click the link I pinned in the live chat to get in. This doesn't have to be the live chat, however, it is preferable since that way it's easier to access, but you can also post it inside of your free SKOOL community or someplace else. And then there is part 3, and this should again take about 1 hour, and that is your Q&A. So how do you actually go about doing a Q&A? Well, it's very simple. You look at the questions inside of the live chat. So you start with the common questions, the general questions about a topic. So let's say that you have a cooking community and somebody asks, how do I make Italian food? And if that's a very common and general question, then you can bring some of the people or one person who asked that question onto the call, and you want to ask them questions to make it a more detailed question. So you want to focus on the detail of what they're saying, and that way you can help them more specifically with their problems and with reaching their goals. And then near the end of the Q&A, you want to end with only answering advanced questions. So let's say somebody asks, how can I make spaghetti with a bunch of different spices? You want to again do the same here. So you want to bring people on the call, ask them questions, and you want to focus on the detail of those questions so that they can reach their goal. Try not to hold anything back. And then part 4, this is the final part, and this takes about 30 minutes, and this is your heavy pitch. Now a lot of people get this wrong, because what they'll do is they'll just pitch non-stop, but that's not how you're supposed to do it. The first thing you have to do is add a timer until the offer closes. So you add a 30-minute timer, you say, once this timer is done, I'm ending the call and this offer will be off the table forever. Then you want to go and pitch the offer again. You can do it the same as you did here. So you can just say the exact same thing, shorten it up a bit, or add some different testimonials from people. Those are all valid options. And once you've done that, you want to answer offer-related questions inside of a Q&A. How do you do this? Again, very simple. Use the live chat, but don't bring people on the call, because what tends to happen is that they will ask a question about the product, and then they will ask a question about them specifically, which gets you off topic of the actual product and off trying to sell. So product questions are general most of the time. That's something you also have to keep in mind. So make sure that when somebody asks a question, you have an answer to it. And then the last thing is, for every sale that you get, you want to mention it. So welcome person to this product, because this signals to people that there's an actual community, and it also signals that they're not alone in buying this product. And so this again provides safety so that they know if something goes wrong, then it's probably also going to go wrong with the other people who recently bought the product and I'm in the same boat as them. So this gives me security that I won't be alone if something goes wrong. And that can relate to your product being bad, or it can relate to them not reaching their goals. However, this is one of those things that provides extra security to your prospects. And so that is how you can use a webinar to close a lot of sales in 3 hours. Now, how many sales are you actually gonna close with this? I can't tell you, simply because I don't know your experience with webinars and I don't know the size of your audience. But if you have a lot of experience talking on camera and talking to a lot of people, then you'll probably have the right amount of experience. Then you just need a lot of leads to actually get into that webinar and pitch them to buy your product. So that was it for this video. If this video was helpful, then like and subscribe. And if you're a content creator and you want me to help you in creating and scaling an info product, then click the first link in the description.